Okay, we have a nice Mickey Mouse face there. So this is those are exercises to warm up, to create some nice light lines without too much pressure or too less pressure. Okay, so with a very balanced way of managing the pencil, the pressure, and the quality we get on the paper. So now let's make an ellipse, because the ellipse is very important when we do wheels in perspective. Okay, check my wrist and my arm. I never bend. I am always in axe. You see, that's very important. Big, very big circle, lines. Now this is a curved line, okay? And as you can see, I still am in the axe of my arm. I'm not bending, my wrist, because the pivot point is in your shoulder. It's up here. That's how we do nice bone lines, or belt lines on our cars. So I take a ground line, I do my wheels. Look, I'm drawing very light. Okay? I put in perspective my shadow. Alright, now I do my belt line. You see, I'm blocking in a shape. I don't even know if this is good or bad, but look how many lines I have. Those are all construction lines. Okay, let's say that this is my first intention, and now I will apply a sort of a line quality so that I can see the design or the first real idea I would like to develop. Okay, this is just to blocking, and as you can see, I will not search for another white paper. I will work on this one. So I put a little bit of the wheel well. I break the proportions. Okay. So let's start. So first of all, here I want this aerodynamic look from the top. You see, what I'm doing now, I'm just making those three-dimensional lines, you see? Now let's go back to our first exercise. You see the three-dimensional line? Dark to light. Dark to light. So when we do that, we create a three-dimensional effect. And there you go. You see? Alright, so let's say that this is, maybe I changed down here. I put a sort of light, okay, and then I go for my belt line. So this is really quick sketching, okay? My back, which will be very, kind of dry, something that has a personality. You see? And now what I will do, I will apply a little bit of shading so that I can see a little bit better also the three-dimensional effect of this body. So first of all, let's take care of this shadow. You see? Now I'm starting really to see the depth, the perspective. But that's what we want. Quick sketching, quick ideation. We can do so many of those. In 1 hour, you can crack down at least 10, That's what you should learn how to do. It's exactly this. I have 1 hour. So here I'm hitting pretty hard, as you can see, because in these areas, in those areas, there is no light, so everything is dark. It's useless I don't do it light, And this helps also another thing, that we get the depth, what is inside, what is outside. So let's make a little bit of a highlight in this lower part of the rocker panel. Little reflection there. Let's put a little bit of C-pillar. We need that. Now, let me put some better. So now we have this, and as you can see, it's already not that bad. I can already kind of saying, I like it or I don't like, I have to change this, I have to change that. It's a good starting point, A little bit of backlight. And now I will do a little light shading just to show well the section on my side. So first of all, the glass. Now, as you can see, I am working always with this 45-degree angle with my lines, see? And I will do dark, light. So let's do it. And I am always careful not to create, you see that line, a graphic element. It has to be smooth transition. So I go back here and I fix it. A lot of people leave those black stripes, That's not nice. I hope you like this video and that you can also subscribe to my channel. It's more than 10 years that this channel exists. Can you imagine being one of the first ones to do those type of tutorials on YouTube? It's very nice. Great memories, Lots of live videos we did. Okay, so now this is my glass. The glass is gonna be darker, but on the body, to show the difference between side body and transparent glass, I will be a little bit lighter here. I will use a lighter tone of the gray of my pencil. Always following this 5-degree angle of lines. Okay, look. Here I can even be a little bit quicker, not too precise. It's not very important. The important thing that I can see the difference. I can perceive that. I can feel, So light. And here, because it's a reflection, this part will be just a little bit darker, making a dark to light. So coming down, dark, light. Okay. And now we're gonna do it. Look, I hit the top, I don't hit in the lower part, I just hit the top. You see? It's like a little bit like painting. Kind of quick. Not too much care, just the necessary, it's always a quick sketch, this one. The necessary, to understand the shading. Okay, so now, let's put a little bit of door. Let's say that here we have a super modern, flush door handle, and we can say that the sketch is done. Now, can you see all the construction lines we had before? Basically, they almost disappear. But it's very nice to see like that way. So, okay. No problem. So, now, today it's the 24th, April 25. Okay. Now, let's go and change media. I don't use anymore the pencil, I will use the pen. Let's see, let's check. So this is a pen that I just opened, so it's brand new. It's a basic black beak, okay? The rule is the same as for the pencil. Be light, okay? Feel the pen, ballpoint pen touching that paper. You will feel a sort of vibration. You need to feel that. And you have to control that. That's very important, that you control it. So, let's go. You see? Look how nice. Light. I don't press hard. Very light. Trying to be very parallel. I mean, not always. But anyway, you see? Nice lines. And now, if we want to do that three-dimensional line, well, we'll pick up this one. As you can see, I go a little bit darker, making almost like a dot. And then I will shade that line. You see? I know maybe it's a little bit thick, but believe me, it's not bad. Now I can hit harder and get this, you see? But I can go really light, you see? Making that ellipse, and it looks nice. Now there is one thing though that you have to understand with the pen that is different from pencil. When with pencil I want to make a shading, I do this, look, and then I go light until nothing. Nice shading, you see? Alright, let's do between those two lines. So it will be better. You will understand better. You see? You do that with a pencil. Very simple. We learned this in art school. But if I have to do the same thing with the pen, how do I do? Because the pen, it doesn't give you that shading. We use the cross hatching technique. So look. Then I go back. And I go over again. And then I start making my shading. Then to go darker and work that shading, I cross edge. So this is my angle. I will cross this way, this way, this way, or even this way, like a X, you know. So I will change my lines. So for the moment, I will do like this. So this is the first angle. Now I go with this angle. Okay? Look what happens when I go over. The lines are already made. You see, we have a very nice shading there, from dark to light. It's not good enough. Not yet. So now I go straight, you see? Perpendicular. Let's see what happens. Because when I cross again, that's to make the really dark spot, you know? So it's obvious that with the pen, there is a little bit of extra work. Because we really have to take care of this, you know? And then once you have that base, you can be very sketchy on top. For example, I go back with this angle, and then moving, I can do something like that. You see? Look how nice. It looks nice. And I use this type of shading, cross-etching technique, when I sketch my cars using a pen. So let's make a sketch using the pen. Okay? So I go light, of course. I make my first wheel, second wheel, my rocker panel area, my shadow. Okay, I'll try to go a little bit faster. I don't want you to keep here hours watching this video. I just want to make sure that you get the main principle, you know? Let's do something similar to what we did already. Okay, so here we have basically our shape, okay? Alright, now let's do a little bit of line quality. Put my reflection. I try to do a little graphics of lights, you know. You see, I'm creating already a shading there. You see, I'm getting a nice front end. Wait, let me put this correctly. Okay. Okay, so now let's take care of the back part. Alright, let's say that that's okay. Now a little bit of the highlight in the rocker panel area, just we did like we did before. Shadow. Okay, and now let's make the shading, you know. So this shading will be done with cross etching. So first of all, let's go from top coming down. As you can see, I'm starting to cross edge very slightly. And now in the center I will cross edge a little bit more. Not too much, because I want to keep the sketch light, but still I will try to make sure that we understand what is glass and what will be body. You see, it looks nice. Now let's make better this belt line, a little bit darker. You see? Look how nice. It looks like a chrome piece. Okay, now I have to do this part, the body. So, always the 45 angles. Let's see what happens. See, I'm very sketchy. I'm not ultra precise. I mean, who cares? I don't like to be ultra precise. It bores me. You see, I'm fixing that shading. You see, it's already not bad. It's not bad, honestly. Now let's fix that line, that bone line. And now I have to do that sort of, shading dark light from top coming down. And that's how I do. I add those lines, very light lines, that disappear, and that will create a feeling of shading. Then I go back a little bit on top, and that's it. Yeah, I don't want to add any more, because if I do, I will mess it up for sure. So now let's do a little bit of backlight. I don't know, it looks ugly. Anyway, and now let's do a little bit the most important part, the darkest spot, which is down here. So let's do it. Let's see. So as you can see, always the same angle, all my lines. Now I'm creating a base, okay, to understand what I'm doing, which one are the areas that have to be dark, so that I have an idea, full idea, how I can control my sketch. Oh, if you like this video, don't forget to put your like. If you are new, subscribe, because even if I cannot post too many videos per year, every time I can, I will do it with a big pleasure. So, wheels, now a little bit of wheel well. So let's do the wheel well. You see, now here the proportions are very nice. Let's do the same thing here. We have suspension there. Even if we don't like, we do. Well, there is a little mistake there. This is supposed to be higher. Not this one. This is a mistake here. Okay. So now what do? I will cross edge in this area, because here has to be really dark. So no problem, no mercy, just do it. You see, I'm getting really dark down there. And I'm starting to create a little bit of shadings into the shadow. Look, you see here? And then I'll do the same thing here. So in the center will be a little bit lighter. Look, it's like there is the sun, you know, the sunlight. In the back will be dark, because in the back it's really in shadow. You see, I'm fixing that. But in the front, no. So we leave it like that. Now, here, in this area is too light. We have to go a little bit darker. So let's do it. Always shading. You see? Always cross etching. Okay, so we have our door that is here, like the other one. We can do a little bit of transparency if we want to. This is the B pillar that is transparent, where there is the reflection on the glass. But when we have the light onto the glass, we cannot see. So he will be a little bit darker. Little reflection onto the windshield. And that's it. We finished. So now I can show you both of them. All right. Wait, let's do this so you can see. So, pen and pencil. So here the pen and here the pencil. And the video is finished. I really hope you enjoyed. That it served you, to learn something. Make the exercise, it's very important. Okay? Thank you very much. Take care. Ciao.